and a good day to our lecturer, Dr. Nurhaiza Khairuddin, and my classmates. My name is Shakila, daughter of Ratnasamy Naidu with matrix number 282633. Today, my group mates and I are going to be presenting about our case study assigned by our lecturer. There will be two parts in this case study where there are part A and part B. In part A, we will discuss about the Sampin and Songket enterprise. Meanwhile, in part B, we will cover on the digitalization in economic and social development.
This is the table of entities and activities for the purchase system inside the Samping and Songket enterprise. There is 30 activities performed by each other entity. This is the table of entities and activities for the cash disbursement system inside the Samping and Songket enterprise. There is 10 activities performed by each other entity. This is the context diagram for the cash system and the cash disbursement system. Next, the logical data flow diagram and the flow chart. This is the logical data flow diagram for the purchase system. There is 6 processes inside the logical data flow diagram. First, monitor inventory record. Second, prepare purchase order. Next, receive goods. And the next, sell goods and update the inventory subsidiary ledger. Last but not least, update the inventory control account. And the last, update the accounts payable. We will look at the flow chart to have a detailed description. At the start of the day, the inventory control clerk will check the inventory subsidiary ledger to know the information of the inventory, and he or she will determine the items to be restocked. And then he or she will write an email and send it to the purchasing clerk. The purchasing clerk will know the item code and the description and quantity, and he or she will note down the information on a note, and then select the supplier to key in the information to prepare the purchase order. The first copy of the purchase order will be sent to the supplier. The second copy will be sent to the receiving clerk. The third copy will be filed inside the purchase order file. And here, the receiving clerk will receive the goods from the supplier and together with the packaging suite. Then he or she will reconcile the items by using the packaging suite and the purchase order. Then the packaging suite and the purchase order will be used to prepare the receiving report. The first receiving report will be sent to the storekeeper. The second report will be sent to the account payable clerk. The third report will be sent to the inventory control clerk. And the last report will be filed inside a inventory receipt file together with the packaging suite and the purchase order. And the storekeeper will key in the information based on the receiving report to update the inventory subsidiary ledger. Then the receiving report will be filed, and the goods will be sold. For the inventory control clerk, he or she will key in the information to update the account of the inventory control account. Then the receiving report will be filed inside a receiving report file. And here, the receiving report will be used to matching the information with the invoice received from the supplier. And then the invoice and the receiving report will be used to key in the information to update the account purchase journal, account payable control account, and the last account payable subsidiary ledger. And the invoice and together with the receiving report will be filed. This is the logical data flow diagram for the cash disbursement system of the Samping and Songket enterprise. There is 3 processes. First, identify liabilities due. Second, prepare cash disbursement. And the third and the last, update the account. To know the detail about the cash disbursement system, we will look at the flow charts. At the start, the account payable clerk will review the accounts payable subsidiary ledger and to know about the information of account payable and secondary ledger and then they will identify the liabilities that are due and key in the information to prepare the payment voucher and also prepare a check and send the check and the payment voucher to the manager to let him sign the check and approve the payment voucher. The signed check will be sent to the supplier, while the approved payment voucher will be used to key in the information to update the account payable control account, and the account payable subsidiary ledger. And then the approved payment voucher will be filed inside a file. That's all from me. My team member will continue the next session of the presentation. Thank you.
Hello, hi. My name is Logendran Pandisamy with the metric number 281190. So now I want to continue the presentation for strengths of internal control procedures in the purchase and cash disbursement system. So the first strength is exhibited by the Sempin and Songket Enterprise is each desktop computer owned by the company is protected with the staff's own login and password. This is a strength since it will be a tough for entity from outside the firm or even the co-workers to break into another person's computer if each employee has their own identifier. The second one, the checkbook is kept in a secure cabinet by the clerk in the account payable department because the lock works as an additional security layer restricting access from another personnel and only granting access to those in authority. Furthermore, the Sempin and Songket Enterprise internal control systems are strengthened by the method of obtaining consent and signature from the manager before any payment are issued. Obtaining a signature before making a payment verifies that the transactions are authorized. Last but not least, the company has significant documentation control. The evidence of every transaction is documented and kept in its own file in each department. Okay, the next one, weaknesses in the purchase and cash disbursement system. The first weaknesses of Sempin and Songket Enterprise is the staff use their personal email instead of use a company email for important business purposes such as making purchases because personal emails do not have the same level of security as the company emails. They are more easily can be hacked. The next weaknesses is when the purchasing clerk occasionally check email requests for purchase order. The purchasing clerk checks the email once in a while to request stock. This may cause a delay in a stock delivery. Besides that, there are major weaknesses in the internal control method, which is a lack of supervision. In the purchasing department, for example, the clerk does not obtain any approval or double check whether the purchase order is correct before submitting it to the vendor. Lack of supervision can result in inaccurate and invalid information. Number 4, instead of 4 copies of the purchase order, the purchasing clerk produced only 3 copies. This purchase order that should have been delivered to established account payable has been omitted. Last one, separation of the duties are also another internal control that the corporation has failed to implement. Separating transaction authorization and processing as well as asset custody and record keeping are among the controls aimed to reduce incompatible tasks. So then, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sina Faizati Bita Udamalik. My matrix number is 272968. I'm going to talk about risk exposure from weakness in the purchase and cash disbursement system. First, if the staff you keep using the personal email instead of the company email for the important business, they're going to miss the email that contain the business matter because the email from the personal matter keep coming from the same email. Second, the company might miss the order because they did not have reminder because the purchasing clerk occasionally check email request for the purchase order. Thirdly is because of the lack of supervision, it's gonna make data breach. Next is the lack of data from the purchasing clerk make the small mistake that can be avoided. And lastly is because they did not make a separation of duty, the fraud will be happen anytime. Next, we're gonna move to appropriate procedure associate for the risk exposure in the purchase and cash disbursement system. First, the company can create and using the company email instead of the using staff email. Secondly is ensure to check email requests frequently so they're not gonna miss the purchase detail, the purchase data, or the purchase order. Thirdly is upgrade the security system of the data and the document to avoid data breach. And next is always check and approve the document that have been completed only. And lastly is every duty must be separated according to department. Thank you.
In part B, we will discuss on the possible ways of applying information technology to transform a business from a conventional platform to a digital business operation, particularly in the aspects of managing the revenue and expenditure cycle. In conjunction with our pandemic phase, many SMEs and micro entrepreneurs faces difficulties in operating their business. Government has encouraged entrepreneurs to get used or get exposed to the digital platforms available to ease their business operations. The first possible way is through cloud computing. It is a practice of using network of remote server hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data rather than a local server or personal computer. Cloud computer helps to keep track of our business operation regarding the revenue and expenditure. Moving on, the second way is the social media platform. It is a basic way for entrepreneurs to get exposed to digital business. Through this, it helps to promote their business products worldwide, thus gaining recognition that can gain customers, leading to increase in our revenue and profit. The third way is known as the Technology Development Program Express, TDP Express, which is a program introduced by the Malaysian Automotive Robotics and IoT Institute, MARI. This program is set up to mainly guide SMEs and micro entrepreneurs on the ways to digitalize their business from a conventional platform. Various tools and mediums are given and professional help are provided to entrepreneurs. The fourth way is through the Electronic Data Interchange (EDI). Through this information technology platform, entrepreneurs are able to transfer documents faster since it replaces the manual way whereby we need to send email, answer phone calls, faxes, or paper communication for ordering or selling products. SMEs and micro entrepreneurs are encouraged to use and get exposed to EDI for electronic transaction throughout the business cycle for revenue and expenditure, as it results in significant savings in time and resources. Last but not the least, e-commerce is also a way whereby SMEs and micro entrepreneurs can transform their conventional business into digitalized business in conjunction with information technology. E-commerce is known as an electronic commerce or internet commerce, refers to buying and selling goods or services using the internet or information technology. E-commerce transactions are easier when it comes to handling the revenue and expenditure cycle. By using e-commerce, all documents and data will automatically insert in the server, making the entrepreneurs easier to interpret their profit data. In conclusion, since we are living in a technology environment, business digitalization is a must for SMEs and micro entrepreneurs in this era. To survive, entrepreneurs should learn to adapt to the technologies to make their business have a long run to gain more profit, thus achieving their business goal. Through business digitalization, entrepreneurs can get to expose or with updated information technology related to their business, which can keep them generate more ideas to expand their business. Therefore, that is all from me and my group mates. Thank you.